Yo, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, kicking off MLB The Show 25, I'm going to be sharing with you the settings I use and everything I do in order to be at the top of my game when it comes to my hitting. Before we get into it though, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on, and in the comment section below, let me know what you're currently doing on MLB The Show 25, if you got the Digital Deluxe or if you're waiting for the normal release. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video. If you guys watched the last video, you know that I have partnered with Shaolin Trading. Shaolin's one-on-one program taught me how to trade stocks for myself. And because of that program, I've been able to become successful trading. And that is a huge reason why I get to do what I love to do, which is pump out videos for you all. So if you're searching for a skill that not only generates income, but also offers a more flexible lifestyle, then do yourself a favor and check out the link in the description below. Make sure you use code REBEL for a discount. And if you have any questions, make sure you message me on Twitter/X, or you can also reach out to me through email, pitchingrebel1@gmail.com, if you have any further questions. All right, let's go ahead and grow Shaolin together. When it comes to hitting, the first things first, the biggest thing you want to have is a monitor that runs at 120 hertz and also has 1 millisecond response time. I currently use a BenQ Zoe series, I believe it is. I can't remember exactly what the series is, but it runs at 120 hertz and it also is 1 millisecond response time. Doesn't have to be a BenQ, could be anything that supports those specs. Then also what you want to have is a control. You want to have a control freak and a precision ring. All right, if you're on PlayStation, I recommend the green one. You can use the purple one, which is medium. I personally use the soft one, the green one, on my PlayStation controller. And now that I'm on Xbox, I use a purple one, the medium. You can even go all the way up to a black one, which is the hard precision ring. And the control freak, I personally have what's called the CQCX. However, the one I have is discontinued. They don't make them anymore. And when I had bought them, because I like that one, been using it for so long, I bought a lot of them to make sure that if they did discontinue them, I had plenty of them. So when it comes to a control freak, I know a lot of people use the Galaxies. That's a very popular one in the MLB The Show community. I personally use the CQCX, but it is discontinued. Next thing is going to be your settings. All right, so when it comes to the settings, the hitting interface you want to be on is zone, and then PCI anchor, I don't use it, so I turn it off completely. I don't use it at all. There's people that use the PCI anchor. I'm not one of them, but you can be successful using it. I just personally don't like the PCI anchor. Next, when it comes to the PCI, it's all about preference. All right, for me, it's diamonds and wedge. All right, I've been using wedge ever since MLB The Show 15. That's what I'm most comfortable with. I wish there was one dot in the middle instead of the three, because that's how a wedge was before, but the diamond suits me fine. Again, it is all preference. Color yellow, that's what I'm used to, so I go with that. 50% opacity, I don't even change it. Again, this isn't the best route to go. There is no best route when it comes to PCI. That's all on you and your preference. You just have to toy around with it and figure out which one best suits you. Okay, so that's everything when it comes to settings, the monitor, or kind of monitor specs you want to have, and then your controller, what it should have. Okay, so now that you have your settings and you have your monitor that you want to have, the biggest thing is you have to get into BP, batting practice mode. Okay, this year is going to be a learning curve for everyone. There's a new difficulty even higher than Legend, which is GOAT difficulty. That's the difficulty you're going to want to be on when taking batting practice. Okay, so make sure you're on GOAT difficulty. Okay, and another little trick that I like to do is, I'll show you real quick. All right, so the next thing I like to do is I like to bump up my sliders. Why? Because fastballs are very important to catch up to. Whether it's a fastball, cutter, or sinker, you gotta be able to catch up to those pitches. If you can't catch up to those, you're not gonna be a successful hitter. You can catch up to those. Now the other stuff is slower, so you should be able to react to it a lot better. But as long you can catch up to the hard stuff, the softer stuff is always gonna be easier to hit. What I like to do is I like to put my sliders all the way up on the fastball pitch speed, so it comes in way hotter than what it would come in online. Okay, And then I also like to move my off speed a couple ticks up. Why? Because I feel like the offline pitch speed of an off speed with the break and all that doesn't match what you see online. But if you move it up a couple ticks, I feel like it's a better representation of what you're going to see online when it comes to the break and the type of timing that you need with the speed of online play. Okay, so that's the 2 tricks that I like to do when I go into BP. Like I mentioned earlier, the most important thing that you need to do as a hitter is be able to catch up to the heat. Fastballs, sinkers, and cutters. All right, specifically sinker and cutter. Why? Because everybody loves using sinker and cutter because they've been the 2 meta pitches for I don't know how long now. It's been forever. So you got to make sure you're able to hit those pitches. And this is what I like to do to practice and make sure that I'm on point when it comes to my sinkers and cutters. So as we see, we have Garrett Crochet who has a sinker and a cutter. All right, let's go ahead and pick a batter that I may like. Let's try Beltran, why not? Brand new legend. All right. And I'll start off, I'll take every pitch off except for the sinker, all right? And then pitch location, I can put it wherever I want. First, I'll start off away from the batter. Why? Because when you face an opposite-handed pitcher, a lot of people love throwing away, pitches away, okay? With the sinker. All right, that's very fast on go, okay? Like I said, learning curve for everyone. Learning curve for everyone on go. All right, we caught up to that though, but didn't hit it very well. So this is what I like to do. This is what I'm definitely gonna do to be able to get used to GOAT difficulty. Is make sure that I'm ready for the sinker and just practice this. All right, this is one of the things I like to do. There it is, a little perfect action right there. It went foul, but it was a perfect. That's all I gotta say. Then after I do that, I'll move on. Once I feel comfortable hitting the outside pitch, then I'll move on to inside because you can't forget about the inside pitch because they will, you know, throw that. Okay? So, see? Gotta be ready for the inside stuff. It's throwing gas. And that is absolutely crushed by Beltran. He has an amazing swing. Alright, so once I feel good about that, alright, I'll go back outside, but now I'm going to add all the pitches. I'm going to add the outside pitches, and I'm also going to add pitches that are outside the zone. Why? So that I can practice not only pitches inside the zone, but I need to make sure that I'm on point with being able to see if it's going to be a ball or a strike. That's a strike. I swung at it. I missed it, but at least I recognize that it was a strike. Got to make sure you're able to recognize it, ball or strike. And there it is, boom. Recognized it, Beltran swing, like I said, is very good. So, once I finish doing that, then I do the same thing and I move on to the inside. Put all my pitches inside and do the same thing. Obviously, we already know the gist now, okay? Then, once I finish working on the sinker on those pitches, do I work over the middle? Not very much. I feel like those are pretty easy to hit, but I will throw it in there every so often. Now, if you're a person that does drop on pitches over the middle, then practice pitches over the middle as well. Then I go on to cutter. Biggest thing about cutters is they're on opposite-handed pitchers. They're gonna throw it inside on your hands. You gotta be able to turn on it, okay? So I'll do that. Oh my goodness, Beltran, you're so good. Can't wait to get you. Anyways, we work on that. Then, now, what do? We incorporate the cutter inside and off the plate. Why? Because people love throwing the cutter in off the plate opposite-handed, okay? And you got to be able to recognize whether it's a strike or ball. You have to be able to do it. It's tough, it is. It still gets me, but if you can do it more times than not, then that's what matters, okay? Recognize that was a ball, move on to the next, okay? And then after I'm done with practicing that, then I move on to practicing the backdoor cutter, okay? Then another big thing is, what do you want to practice? You want to practice same-handedness hitting, okay? So we're going to move on to Manny. We got Walker Buehler, who has a sinker cutter combo. Now, what's the biggest thing when you have a same-handedness hitter? People love to throw you what? Inside sinkers if they have it, right? So it's kind of opposite. They love to throw that inside sinker. Let's see how Manny's swing is now. So we practice inside on strikes first. Just get a feel for it. Manny's swing is very quick, by the way. Yeah, Manny's swing is definitely going to play. But yeah, so you practice the inside pitches. Make sure you get a feel for it. Just practice that for a little bit, and then you do the same thing, right? You're going to add pitches off the plate, and then you're going to work on the outside pitches because you have to work on it. They don't throw it very often outside. They will, of course, mix it in. People got to mix it in, especially with ambush hitting, okay? That's going to bring a whole new factor into the game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then practice your outside, same thing. Now, what's another big thing people love to do to righty-righty or lefty-lefty is they like using the cutter to try to get you to roll over. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. They like to throw that cutter away to try to get you to roll over, right? So you got to practice the cutter away. There it is. It rolled me over. I was way too quick on it. Manny's swing is very fast, and I believe he probably is going to have pull tendency, so it's a little bit tougher to go backside with him. But again, this is why you practice. Okay, I know I'm a little bit early. Let's try to be a little bit later this time. There we go. That was a beautiful swing. Whether it's a line out or not, great swing. And then we're going to just incorporate off pitches off the plate, and then we move on to front door cutters, of course, and whatnot. So it's the same process, rinse and repeat over and over, whether it's righty on righty, lefty on lefty, or opposite-handed pitcher to hitter, right? That's all I do into BP. Make sure that my sinker cutters, I'm good. And then, obviously, I incorporate off-speed pitches. Specifically, it's going to be, let's say, a sweeper, okay? That outside sweeper, we got to get, or the outside breaking pitch, righty on righty, is a pitch you're going to see a lot. Why? Because, of course, the PCI is going to shrink on you, okay? That's the first time I see a sweeper. Didn't look very good on it. Let's see if we can look a little bit better on this one. Nope, I'm still early as could be. Manny's swing is so fast. Oh my God. Okay, and that's why we practice. Right now, a sweeper is a new pitch. I got to get used to the sweeper. I got to get used to the break. I got to get used to the timing on it. I'm not hitting it well right now, and that's where we're going to get in BP and work on it because the PCI shrinks, and it's a new pitch and a new difficulty. That's a lot of things you got to get used to. There we go. Finally hit one right there. Boom. Manny, beautiful swing. Do I incorporate changeups and stuff? If I feel like the changeups, I really only incorporate it when it's opposite-handed pitcher to hitter, and splitter, same thing. Because do you see it? Yes, of course you're gonna see it, but it's very, very rare. If you can attack that pitch, that sinker, cutter, and make sure you're hitting those consistently with the same handedness, you're gonna be ahead of the curve by a long shot. The off-speed stuff that's like a changeup or a splitter, it's a little bit easier to pick up, but the sinker, cutter, the most important pitches, in my opinion, you got to make sure you're hitting. Okay. Now we do have a new feature called ambush hitting, right? Where we can use our right analog stick out or in. Okay, we're gonna do out. Obviously, he's gonna throw an outside pitch. We know that. And theoretically, if we do the correct ambush side, we're gonna have a better timing window. Okay, so if we're on GOAT, we go one timing window lower, so to legend. So does our PCI is also better, and whatnot, right? So you can use this, incorporate the ambush hitting into your hitting. I haven't played an online game yet. I'm getting my account ready to do that. I'm flipping nonstop so that I can make sure that I have the stubs in order to finish the collection as quickly as possible. So I haven't used the ambush hitting. Now, when it comes to ambush hitting, it's just basically this is a cat and mouse game now. You got to see if you can pick up tendencies. A lot of people will get repetitive on their pitches, and if you can pick up on that, you can definitely capitalize big time this year on it because of the ambush hitting. So the ambush hitting, I don't really necessarily think you have to use that in practice mode to practice it. I think that the ambush hitting is more of a thing that you use in game. A pitcher is getting repetitive and you know what his tendencies are. Or if you're looking for a certain pitch, let's say you're heading the count 2-0, I want to pitch inside. I don't care where it is, I'm going to use that ambush hitting. Now remember, if they throw you an outside pitch and you went inside, you're going to get a pretty big dock on your PCI. So if you're on All-Star, your PCI size would end up being a legend because it goes 2 difficulties higher, and your timing window will also be on legend. So remember that, okay? Do I think ambush hitting would really be useful on lower difficulties? No, your PCI is already really big. Why would you want to risk bringing your PCI down a couple sizes, right? When it comes to legend and then especially GOAT difficulty, that's where maybe you want to start incorporating the ambush hitting. For me personally, if I were to use the ambush hitting, it would only be in situations that I'm ahead of the count, or that I can just take a pitch and I'll be okay, right? 0-0 count, maybe a situation 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, you know, things like that. Okay, 2 strikes, I am not gonna ambush hit, because if I mess up on the spot that it's gonna come in, guess what's gonna happen? I'm definitely probably either gonna strike out, or I'm gonna miss the pitch badly and end up doing that, something I don't want to do. But being ahead of the count, and if you can still afford to take a pitch and you're okay, I mean, if you want to use it, go ahead. I might try it out, see how I feel. If I feel like I'm hitting worse because of the ambush hitting, or if it helps me, I'll keep using it. But I don't know. We'll see. I have to, you know, get into the gameplay and see if I want to use it. But lower difficulties, I don't think you should really use it. I think ambush hitting will be more beneficial in the higher difficulties. But anyways, that is everything I do in order to make sure that I stay sharp with my hitting, all right? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope these tips are helpful, and I hope you apply it to your game to be the best hitter that you can be. Anyways, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on, leave a like on the video, and in the comment section below, let me know if you're going to be using these tips or not, all right? Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.